Yep. Thanks, Jules. All right, that leaves me for last. Hi, everybody. My name is Timothy Landry. This is my seventh year at Dalran School. I came in with Fred Newsom. It's my 23rd year teaching exclusively middle school. Only grades I've ever taught are 7, 8, and 9. My wife is a grade 5 SST. I have found that many of your kids know her coming up to 8th grade now. I have an 11-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 7-year-old. And I will be honest with you, I am a first-time middle school parent. So with the abundance of experience in this chat, I would more than welcome any and all advice, if there is any possible, on how to be a competent middle school father to an adolescent daughter. So please do not hesitate to let me know if you have any advice on that. A couple things that I want to talk about. We're going to talk mostly about how we can make this a successful year for your kid. Communication is key. The one thing that I'd like to keep going is that homeschool communication. And if either of us have a concern about the success or the well-being of your child, let's communicate. Let's address any of those concerns. Meeting times are when we need them. So please be aware of that. If you or your child have any clarifying questions about school, assignments, assessments, I would ask, though, that you start with your child. Middle school is intended to be that safe place for kids to take ownership of their own learning, and mistakes are part of that process. And we want to teach them how to navigate those kind of things. So start with them. If these are not pressing issues, start with them, and encourage them again to ask me. If your child has questions or concerns, please encourage them to contact me. Again, we want them to take ownership of their own learning and their own success. As far as just some of the things that I've gotten emails about last year, I really do want people to rest comfortably that we are going to meet your kids where they are, and that we are going to make sure that they have a solid foundation to build on the algebra curriculum. Kind of like Mr. Deason said earlier, our goal is to make sure that they are ready for high school, and we are going to we've spent the first 3+ weeks of school in algebra, going through diagnostic testing, solidifying those foundational gaps. And our goal is to get them ready for high school, and we're going to do that, and we're going to make sure that we do it the right way. So we're not gonna skip things, and we're going to make sure that we get kids ready and that we build that on that solid foundation. One of the things that you can see in our chat here is I want to know the things that I need to know. You can see is linked in that presentation here at the bottom is that I had sent out a form to all of you earlier in the beginning of the year, asking for your input on your child. What are the things that you could share with me that help me to be a better teacher for your child? If you haven't done that, it is in the presentation, and more than encourage you and hope that you would share those things with me, because you have more insight. You know your child better than anyone, and what you know is going to help me be a better teacher for your kid. Uh, some of the things, again, when we talk about grades and formative assessments and summative assessments, the one thing that we really are trying to focus on this year is the concept of learning. I want to have kids learn to celebrate mistakes. In my class, we learn by doing, and we grow through making mistakes and taking those mistakes and taking the feedback that comes from those mistakes and getting better. Because every single mistake that we make is one step closer, not to getting the right answer, but to a better understanding. And that's going to be the real focus this year is, hey, we've even made the joke a couple of times this year. Someone makes mistakes and we clap and we're excited about it because that's how everybody learns. That's how we get better. In addition, one of the other big things that we do this year in algebra is that we ask your child to think. It's a big transition for some kids when they come to algebra. It's a transition from that, similar to what Mr. Newsom said earlier, is that it's a transition from those, concrete calculations to more abstract thinking. So I would absolutely encourage you to ask them questions. I would encourage you to ask them to explain their thinking. I would encourage you to help them walk through it is what they think if they have questions about those things. That's really one of the big parts of what we're trying to do to get through algebra this year is get them to think about these things, because it's really that thinking process and that ability to think abstractly that we're trying to encourage for high school. Lastly, again, we are finally getting to kind of the Algebra 1 curriculum after quite a few weeks of assessing and solidifying those foundational things. And now that we are starting the algebra curriculum, which we just got going earlier this week, is the idea that they'll have practice now. You can check with everything, like we said, about Schoology. It's all going to be found on there. Some of the things also that you might see this year are similar. I feel very similarly to the way Mr. Geeson does, that writing is thinking. So we do a lot of writing in my class, not to show work, but to justify the thinking and to kind of make them think about that. Writing is them forcing themselves to take their ideas, to organize them, and to put them in one cohesive thought so that they can better understand and create those pathways for better understanding about algebra in general. Again, like everybody else, please do not hesitate to email me if you should have any questions. We're looking forward to a great year. I couldn't be more excited about having kids back in the classroom. This little bit of normalcy is kind of rejuvenated me this year. And I have to say, again, we're off to a great start, and I'm super excited for the 21-22 year. So that's what I have. Thank you so much. If again, that homeschool communication that we talked about, it's essential to the success of your child. So please, our emails are here. They are in the presentation we sent out to you earlier today. Please don't hesitate to use them. That's how we will ensure the success of your child. That is what we've got. Thank you very much, everybody. All right. Thank you so much. Again, please let us know if you have any questions. We will get to those and we will share them out with you from the whole team.